Hello, today we're going to be answering 7 questions about hallucinogenic drugs. The first being, does recreational use fall under abuse? This is a tough question to tackle because it's debatable. Is the person taking the drug for spiritual reasons like Native Americans that commonly take ayahuasca? Or is this a junkie smoking PCP in an alleyway? It's a case-by-case type of thing. I believe from my research that around 3 to 5 uses or less of any particular hallucinogen is merely experimentation or spiritual. Continuous regular use of the compounds is abuse. You can become psychologically to these drugs as you can most anything without being physically addicted. A great example is people who buy chocolate or on a regular basis don't buy it because they need it, but because they enjoy the taste of chocolate. Question number 2. How often are these chemicals used in criminal charges? Roughly 40% of people incarcerated on drug charges in 2016 were caught with nothing but possession of marijuana. That doesn't include any of the other various illegal substances on this list, even the actual dangerous ones. It seems ridiculous that a drug that is proven to be harmless generates more needless arrests than that of actual dangerous drugs like heroin. Marijuana possession casts a shadow over all other drug charges, being either first or second most charged offense in general. More people are in jail for having weed than people are in jail for murder at a staggering ratio. Question 3. How can legalizing these chemicals lead to less criminal charges? Decriminalization of these drugs, or even a full-scale legalization, can not only cut out half of our overcrowded prison systems, but save taxpayers over $50 billion annually. Question number 4. Can these drugs change lives? Yes, these have shown great potential in their limited clinical trials. In one trial, MDMA completely cured PTSD of some participants. That's right, a full recovery from a terrible traumatic illness. LSD in a similar trial showed a complete recovery from severe depression on 5 out of 12 participants within a few months after their dosage. One of the best parts is, in both cases, they only took 1 dose. 1 little tab of acid or 1 little pill of ecstasy, and just a short period later a full recovery. Marijuana, on the other hand, can slow the spread of cancer cells to a complete stop, and when CBD and THC are concentrated from marijuana, they can kill some cancer cells. The only downside of marijuana treatment is, to get the effects, you have to continuously use the substance. Question 5. What is the stigma? A stigma is a mark of disgrace associated with something. You'll often hear from people that, "That's a gateway drug," or "Marijuana can kill you," or "If you take LSD, you're legally insane." These are just urban legends tossed around to scare people. People who do things like hallucinogens are often discriminated against because people think of them as junkies or addicts, when in reality in most cases they're just experimenting. Question 6. Why do people experiment with these drugs recreationally? In many tribes in South America, there is a self-finding ritual where participants drink ayahuasca and hallucinate while trying to find the meaning to it. This may sound crazy and primitive, but what if it works? Thousands of online anecdotes say tripping has many benefits, whether it be mental clarity and a refreshment after the experience, finding your purpose in life, finding meaning of something, realizing your mistakes or flaws, or even completely killing your ego, making you a whole new person. These drugs can change lives, even if it isn't to cure some mental illness or disorder. Final question. Why doesn't the government let us research these drugs? It all boils down to the stigma. Clinical trials are few and far between, and since most of these drugs are Schedule 1, it makes it nearly impossible for researchers to get their hands on them or synthesize it on their own. If research is to be done in the foreseeable future, restrictions on these drugs need to be lifted to a degree so we can learn their true potential. This has been Jet Sasser. Thanks for listening.